Taking hyperbole, poetry is on the way. Taking hyperbole, the poetry kettle is whistling, yay. Taking hyperbole, poetry and life and death and discussion. Sometimes hyperbole, sometimes hyperbole, and cake poetry is on the way.
Hello.
Hey, hello.
It's
Poetry
so
is
good
on
to
the way.
see you.
And
Yes,
it's good to
yes.
see
I
you.
wish you could see us. No, I'm probably glad that people can't see us behind the scenes when that song is playing. So,
That's right. We're just getting down and getting funky.
yeah. Well, welcome everybody.
Yeah.
We were just talking about we have an absolutely packed show this month. We've got book reviews and reading many other people's poems and
Yes.
talking to you about events like SpoFest. Hey, Nina. And SpoFest and how that works. And we've got a poetry postcard event, not from us, from somebody else that looks freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll tell you about that and share links and chat and multiple videos. And I have a poem and you have poems and we have poems from other people and book mail. And oh my God, there's like so much.
Yes.
So, all right, now the show is over.
Okay, you relax. I'm going to read this conversation that Nina and I had on Instagram
Yes,
today. This
yes.
was hilarious. Okay, I had posted something, boom. She made a comment about loving it. And so then I had commented this and she forgot what it was in reference to. So it turns out funny. Here it goes. Topless sword fight. That was from me. And Nina says, I have no idea what topless sword fight refers to anymore, but I'm in. And I'm like laughing faces, right? And I said it was some old painting in a meme to school the stodgy folks who pine for the days of quiet, modest, demure women. And then there's this painting of these two women in like the 15th century having a topless sword fight over like flower arrangements or something. And I said, but I love that out of context and plan to read this whole thread at Cake and Hyperbull. Boom. Check. Done.
Oh
so,
my goodness, that is hilarious.
Topless sword fight.
Gosh,
my next poetry collection.
I know. I was like,
what can we do with that?
Says so many things. I have so many ideas right now.
If we had some poetry event and titled it Topless Sword Fight, I mean, it'd be clickbait and nobody would ever trust us again. But I'm sure we could make it almost as fun as the topless sword fight.
If we didn't wear our hats and tiaras, we would be topless.
Well, you know, I've been known to draw the occasional pizza box nude. I could do nude torsos, whatever gender you prefer, get them on t-shirts, and then we get the pool noodles and go at it. I think that would be the publicity stunt. Publicity stunts. That's just, I think it's solved.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yes, yes. Okay. Well, like so many ideas there. I have that park. This needs to happen. We need to have topless sword fighting.
Yeah, you do. Oh my gosh, the town would get to be a community thing too. Nice.
Yes.
Independence, Missouri would never be the same.
The police might actually be
Yeah, the fire department is right there, and they probably have like the police on speed dial, you know, like the non-emergency number.
There's some crazies in the park again. Come on, come on.
Get over here. And then the cops would come over and be like, oh, this is nothing. Stop your whining.
Oh my goodness.
North Independence. Come on.
See, this is my warning for all you folks that just tuned in. And hello to people who are here. We've got Pete, we've got Brian, we've got like just a bunch of people popping in. We thank you for being here. This is my warning though. This is how this stuff gets started with Amy and I. We have this little conversation. We're like, ha, 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 wouldn't it be funny? Well, 2 months from now, I guarantee we're probably doing this.
Yeah, this is our process.
To do this.
Yes, I do too.
I think this needs to happen.
And then word gets out that I do pizza box nudes, and then I'm the next Alice Neal, who in the 70s would invite people into her Harlem apartment to do their portraits, sometimes nude. I think nowadays it sounds scarier than it probably did then, but on both ends, you know.
Yeah.
Hitchhiking, who's going to be the murderer? The person driving the car or the person hitchhiking? You know, so yeah, complicated.
Well,
Listen to too many true crime
I
podcasts.
still owe you a topless photo.
Mhm.
And I will do
For your
that. It's
own
just
pizza
been
box
for
nude.
my own pizza box nude. I am
Yep.
all over that. Like literally,
Yay!
as in paint, all over that pizza box.
It is definitely the human form, which is artistically a respected thing to do. And I, as a poet and an artist, I just kind of see the beauty in all things around me and then
Yeah.
write about it or draw about it. So, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that is happening. And mostly it's just been like the busyness of everything.
Yes.
So
You've been very
but
busy. I've been a little less so, but yeah.
yes, I will share all my busyness. Who wants busyness? Busyness for all. It's like
Delegate.
Oprah Winfrey up in here. You get some busyness. You get some busyness. Everybody can have some busyness. So, but speaking of busyness, like I said, we have so many things going in here. I want to start, if we can. One of the things I decided to do was save my book reviews for Cake and Hyperbull. But I promise not to make them long book reviews. So, but that way it's here. Everything is combined. That's less work for me and, a bigger group of people to see it. So,
Yeah.
this is Victims by Marge Simon and Mary Turzillo. I actually know these both of these women personally, Marge more than Mary, and I have all their poetry collections and I love them. They're dark poets and they team up quite often. I like 5 books I think they have together. But gorgeous writing. And this one is from the voice of the victims of like killers and serial killers.
Wow.
I'll just read the back. But Amazon gave me a nice sticker on there. Just
Thanks,
love that.
Amazon. Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
So, but just so I'll tell you what it's about. The title of
Mhm.
this collection sets you up for the surprise of lyrical stories of victimizations with unexpected endings for the villains. Because that's one of the things I love is they'll have the victims in there, but there's always some justice served there. There's very often justice.
Good.
So be ready to have your heart opened and cheer for perceived victims, human, made, and unmade, and other life forms victorious in the hands of these 2 award-winning poets. Oh, I apologize. That's actually a statement from Linda. That's a blurb from Linda D. Addison. That's not what the book is about, but it is also what the book is about.
Still, yeah, and well said.
But thank you for this sticker. I actually will not read it because I can't get past the sticker. But yes, so but yeah, gorgeous book. I really love their poetry. One of the other ones I read was serial killers and their victims that they had, but these 2 women worked together wonderfully. Marge, I know personally as a friend, and we became a friend because I fell in love with her poetry first. So, cannot recommend this book enough. And this is Victims by Marge Simon and Mary Turzillo. Oh, and Nina says she loves this book. Mary and Marge are wonderful people, which is absolutely true, and talented poets. And in hindsight, this link will be in the descriptions, description of this video on YouTube, if you go over to YouTube. And that is my book review of Victims for today.
Nice.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah. I like doing it here better because, there's just more people to see it. And I like the less work part too, honestly.
Well, you're sort of like consolidating projects, and that's key to success right there. Things get done, things don't go undone. So
exactly. Because that's been on my list to do forever, that I wanted to do that review for them. So, but all right. How about you? What you got on your? I know you got a big old stack of stuff too.
I do. Speaking of Nina, who just commented, I'm gonna fool with my lamp here. Okay, I do have a poem from our friend Nina Dark Angela called Tectonic Upheaval. From chasm it rose, beating false currents with slap of its tail. Limestone soldiers gave way. Fuel is what is sought, evidenced by near-dead cobalt eyes. It had been far too long since the last feeding. Pitching to the left, it scented the vein. Grasping the granite facing it, began to rip metamorphic rock from the range. A snort assured its failing eyes. The raw mineral reeked of potency. Slower now, with delicacy not undo the task, it scraped and scratched with far more finesse. As it extracted the raw sapphire, vital to survive, it calmed, knowing it would soon sup again. Tectonic upheaval. That was really
Wow.
enjoyable. I loved the whole mythos of it, as well as the words and imagery. I mean, to use like
Yeah.
poetic stuff, but it's so fun to imagine that, you know. Ugh, I love
Nina
stuff like
is
that.
is
You, Nina.
kind of one of our surprise. She's been watching for a while, and then
Right.
all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, I have a couple poems, maybe," and we're like, "Okay, let's look at these." Boom! These
Yes.
amazing poems.
And yes,
Oh,
it
sorry, it's
amazes
okay.
me how apologetic she's been about it. Well, I kind of wrote these. If they're not gonna, we're like, what?
These are
They're
awesome
magnificent.
poems. So yeah, and this is exactly why we're here, to dig out all these secret hidden poets that are amazing. So Nina, love you, love the poetry, and love that you're here.
Love it. Keep it coming.
Comment, yeah, comment from
Whenever.
Pete Kelly, one of our other wonderful regular poets. Excellent earthiness. Wow.
Yeah.
So, and we
Yes.
have another Facebook user who I'm going to say is probably Laura. I think her name is Laura. Says so enjoyable.
Yeah. Good stuff, Nina.
Yeah, that was really awesome. And I actually have the victim's link. I'm going to share that in chat in just a minute.
Cool.
Yes. Yep. All right. All right. I am going to grab something real quick for
Okay.
my husband. What else have you got on there?
I will read one from Langlois, who has also shared with us before. This is called, I love this. This is called The Rebel, an ode to Carrie Fisher. Aw,
Ooh.
my glasses just sort of fell apart, so I'm going to do without them. The Rebel, an ode to Carrie Fisher by Blaise Langlois. When I was 3, every part of me wanted to be a princess, a kick-ass, get-the-job-done lass with cinnamon bun hair and a blaster. One so strong she could watch Alderaan burst into a million pieces and grieve it without audience. A lesson in grit and how to tell the man where he can shove it. So call me commander or dress me up and call me pretty, because I'll rock your metal bikini and then hand you your ass. And damn the daddy issues. Here's a tissue. You're going to need it. Believe it. I don't need a crown to be a princess.
Oh, I
So,
love that.
boys, I am wearing a tiara. However, beautiful.
That
Very
is
well said.
awesome. Is that by Blaise Langlois?
Yes,
Did
indeed.
you say? Oh, awesome.
Rhythmic and badass and all of the above. So I loved it.
And
Thank
I'm
you for
going to
sharing.
say, I love what we do, Amy. Thank you
I
for
do
doing
too.
this with me.
Hey, thank you for doing it with me. And now we're doing it twice as much as we used to. This might be our 1 year. Is this a year ago that we started Cake and Hyperbull? Was it July? I think July was when we started Cake and Hyperbull.
I think you're
21.
right.
And then 2020, August, we started Sunday Poetry, which we just called Poetry Live back then. But yeah.
Yep. And
So
we
yay!
waited until the 21st, 2021, I think, to start this.
We did.
So yeah, I think this is the 1-year
It's our
anniversary of
first
Cake and
birthday.
Hyperbull.
Yay! Oh, I could get my birthday tiara out, which I have to hide from my cat because he likes to chew on it. Briefly, happy birthday to us. Okay.
Yay!
Now I don't want to distract with that. Yep.
You know what I just realized too?
What's up?
I'm doing a giveaway, everybody. Surprise! I talked about it yesterday, or I don't know, that was
Cool.
like last month. Of a print by a certain Amy Zoellers. Let me grab that so I can show it. Talk about organization. I had all the other stuff organized. Thought I was organized.
Organized. And you know, I might be able to banter. Here's my opportunity to say the last time I ran out. That's right. And off I go. The last time we did this and I ran out of banter, which never happens, I am just going to say that was because I started at the beginning of June a podcast called Podcast in A Minor. Basically, for the past few years, I'll write little songs, weird little songs, and perform them and then post them on Instagram. I started doing it during the pandemic. And then last year, I did the 100-day project with my harp. And then I did all summer long, I would record playing songs I'd written on the Farfisa organ because it was my dad's back in the 60s. And he died right before Halloween. But during the summer, he was in a nursing home. And when I filmed myself playing on his organ that he played in college, he loved it. And so I would just keep doing it. So now I'm taking all of that backlog of songs, and for each episode, I'm like, this is where I got the idea to write. Oh, that reminds me about this. Oh, let's talk about Shark Week. There's a Shark Week one coming up in a couple of weeks. Mothman one. You guys are the only ones getting previews on this. So my latest episode was about gardening and catnip and bees and stuff, but there's just everything to write songs about, like poetry. So that's called a podcast in A minor. No, there's no A in front of it, just podcast in A minor. But that's not why. Every time I write songs, they tend to be in A minor because it's a good key for my voice. So, and it also sounds badass because it's a minor key. So podcast in A minor. Thank you, Angela. Take it away.
Awesome. You are such a good banterer.
Oh, thank you. Amy has a lot to say, not enough minutes in the day. To paraphrase Sparks. Sparks, who did My Girl Marianne? No, I think they did Eaten by the Monster of Love. Get back to you on who did that song.
Okay.
Continue.
The giveaway that I planned last month but forgot about until about 2 minutes ago.
Yes.
We are giving away a print of our very own Amy Zoeller's dinner menu.
Oh,
Is that the right one? Anyways, it's
yes, I think you had two of dinner menu, and so
okay.
you're like, instead of like swapping it, she's going to be generous and give it away.
Yes. Because I've been collecting all 4 of these prints. It's a collection of 4 over on Amy Zoeller's Etsy page. And I have been collecting them when I see them. And I accidentally collected 2 dinner menus.
And I didn't notice. I was like, here, have another typewriter, because there are 4.
Because we've been doing it over the course of, like, I've been getting them over the course of a couple of years. So anyways, this one will be sent to somebody anywhere in the world. I bet I can get Amy to sign it because I do kind of know her a little bit.
And we live in the same town.
Yeah. So
hey, to make it more enticing, that is an excerpt from the final piece in Ordeal in French Lipstick by Amy Zoeller's called Cataloged, and that's just a little piece of it right there.
Awesome.
I hand stamped it on a canvas. This is a print of it. That's why it's not amazingly expensive when you buy it in my shop, because it's a quality giclée print of a canvas painting. So,
yeah, I love these. I can't wait to get the last one, and then I want to frame them all and hang them up together.
Ooh, cool.
If you would like to enter into this, to win this, to be sent to you anywhere in the world, it helps to be able to enunciate. In chat, just type this phrase, #1 year !
Ooh, I love it.
And then you will be entered into this to win this, and probably some other stuff that we'll just throw in there.
Throw in an Ordeal in French Lipstick, and then you'll have it like with the painting from the story.
Yeah. So type that in there. Oh, see, we already got Nina entered.
Yes.
Just type it in chat exactly how Nina did, and you will be entered. We have 1 entry. So I'll kind of keep reminding everybody as we go through, but yes, I'm so glad.
Enter. The artist is right here, you guys. Right here. Okay.
This is her. Oops. No, there she is, right there.
Be cool. Express desire for this piece of artwork.
Yeah. Now I'm so glad.
I can take it.
Yeah. So I knew I had something else going on. I kept pausing, going, something else.
Yeah,
something else.
That was it. Oh, I'd forgotten that too. Obviously.
All right. We already got some entries. So that will happen at the end of this. All right. What else do we have going on? Because there's like so many things. That wasn't even on my list, and that's a thing.
Cool. Do you have one from Pete?
I do have a video from Pete. And we actually have 2 videos from Pete, but because we have so many things, I'm going to play one and then play one at the end and just kind of divide it up a little bit. But yeah, this is our own Pete Kelly. We can say that, right? We can claim him. He's here pretty much every month.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. All right. We claim you, Pete, as our poet. So, and here's a comment about your art, I think. And she is awesome. And this is true.
Oh, why, thank you.
I think we have an amazing, awesome group. And this is one of us, Pete Kelly, with A Walk in the Woods. And this is a video in his own voice. And we welcome these kind of things on the show. Get in touch with either of us, and we would love to put it on Cake and Hyperbull. Oh, and I have to share the screen. We're like so professional.
Got it. We'll get there.
walk in the woods. Under a ceiling of oppressive cloud, the night brings out a doubtful fear. Movement is momentary, peripheral, with subtle sounds to think you hear. Eerie harmonics of a chill wind playing. Icy fingers penetrate clothes to stroke skin. Trees toy at shadow play in the gloom, twisted anew with every bolt of lightning. Thunder swells, rolling over failing nerve, riding up your spine with a banshee wail. Footfalls increase with clumsy momentum, as upon a ship in a tempestuous gale. Unseen eyes watch your progress, hungry. Twigs are snapped to keep your attention, sensing the heightened heartbeat of fear, sending out to others a bloody invitation. Like all good things, this playtime must end, and suddenly the wood is quiet and deathly still. The moment of insanity, a pearl in the oyster, as bursting from storybooks, we become real. Thank you.
Whew, okay.
I love that poem.
I do
Yes.
too.
And also
That-
how Pete just kept like emerging from the darkness. It'd be like darkness, and then Pete would sort of lunge forward, and that was good. Very
I know. He is such a
effective.
performer. Absolute brilliant performer. So thank you, Pete.
for adding
that.
class to our production here.
Yeah, because we Americans can get to be pretty silly and goofy. Case in point.
Hot poet. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we've got Pete over here bringing up, like, remember when he read outside of the tomb of Excalibur? Was it Excalibur? No, King Arthur.
Yeah, Excalibur's like the
Excalibur's
sword.
the title.
Yeah. I think the sword or something. But yeah, yes, he was on site, like at King Arthur's, burial place and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
very, very cool. And welcome Lee Foreman. Lee Foreman.
Hey, Lee.
I don't have his book handy, but I do have I can't peel it off. I do have this magnet representing Lee Andrew Foreman's Berry Box, which I feel like we've talked about here before, but I think it might have been on a like lit up or something. But yeah, really awesome book. He's got a couple of really, really good books. So plugging the people.
Yes. Awesome. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to find Dinner Menu, the section from Spasm's catalog, and read it. And then that way you'll know, oh, here he goes. I don't know when to stop, so we'll see. Hey, okay. Do
you want me to hold up Dinner Menu? I'm going to hold up Dinner Menu while you.
This is the excerpt that I like hand stamped.
Well, let me take it out so it's not
a weird time in my life. So, sometimes I had time to do things like that. I'll read Dinner Menu from Spasm's catalog. Lullaby of the Leaves, Ragtime Songs by E.J. Stark, Sedalia, Missouri. It all hangs together in the fourth section of Kyrene, also known as the classical rag by E.J. Stark. Section 4, Where God Shows Up. Discovered written on the underside of wooden bed slats mental ward. Remember that episode of The Twilight Zone in which the old gentleman gets carried back to the roaring 20s and his gal, a flapper, alive again? She had died of pneumonia or something, and his buddy, back from the dead, having died who knows how. Those two had to punish him with moody sarcasm, wholly unlike themselves, so he'd scram back to the early 60s with his tail between his legs. In flapper times, pneumonia, consumption, influenza, childbearing just carried you off. In section 4 of Kyrene, I can hear the brown glass medicine bottles, the coffins, the staid grief. In photographs, the windows never fail to look hazy. The whole world was hazy back then, according to the photographed windows and Kyrene. Other than section 4, however, the song doesn't move me much. Let the music calm your face. Let the music calm your face. I keep attempting to put a tune to that poem, but it always comes out Lullaby of the Leaves. Good stopping place. So that is from Spasm's catalog, and we're dealing French lipstick.
And if you type this into chat, you will win this, and it will be mailed to you anywhere in the world. And I would say it's unopened, but you just saw me do that, so we could see it.
That's okay. Yeah, it's those like cellophane slip covers that you just put over it to protect it.
Yeah,
But you're not
exactly.
going to really hurt it. Yeah.
So,
So, yeah.
awesome. All
Neat.
right, what do we have next? Because I know we have a ton of stuff.
Yes, we do.
Oh, I could share another book.
Yeah.
This is by a dear friend of mine who I have known probably for about 10 years. This is We'll Be Perfect When We're Dead by Laura Kester Darwachter. Now, you speak German, Amy. Did I say that last name correctly?
Something like Durwechter is my best guess,
Durwechter.
but I have a German married name that has been Americanized. So it'd be, one thing in German and another thing in American. So Durwechter is what I'm going with.
Okay.
Unless corrected, and then I'll go with something else.
I will let Laura. Laura's actually going to be in town in like 2 weeks now, I think. So
Cool.
we should actually all go out for lunch or something.
Yes. And we'll try not to make you say your name 10 times so that we'll remember. Oh, voice memos. They have voice memos now.
Oh,
Angela.
right.
We can just record it. Yeah. And then anytime it comes up, we'll be like, Laura. Or whatever it is. In her own voice.
Laura Kester, hang on. Director. But congratulations first, Laura, on this beautiful book. I just got this, I think yesterday. So I haven't had a chance to read all of it yet. But I do want to read a poem from this. And she has given me permission because we're not going to read other people's work unless they're way dead and therefore very perfect. But yeah, so I want to read a poem out of this. And congratulations. And I actually, a little side note, Laura and I have known each other for 10 years. We met in a class that I was teaching, and I actually did that cover. But I think 5 years ago, and then we both forgot about it.
Beautiful.
No, but like Pixabay, I say did that cover. Pixabay, putting stuff together, Photoshop,
Wow. Okay.
But this poem is called Invisible Ink by Laura Kester Darwachter. Invisible ink is strangely familiar and perfectly matched with half-filled journals filled under someday. The task left and hidden where the shadows protect the depth of me. Promises broken, dispersed among day-to-day living, nothing to reveal and secrets unwilling to breathe on blank pages. I sit with the absence of cathartic intent, unaware of passing time, uninspired. I exhale. And that is on page 16 of We'll Be Perfect When We're Dead.
I like that. Invisibility of all kinds is it's something that always kind of rises up in my work every now and again. And there will be a podcast episode about it. I just don't know when. I think in August, based on a song called Invisible Friends. So connect.
Yes. I love that. Yeah, I've been a fan of Laura's for about 10 years. So, you know what? I'm just saying, she's one of those poet stories of a poet blossoming before your eyes. And it's always so inspiring. We need more of us. So everybody start writing poetry and sending it in.
Yes. Because we will excitedly read it. We will happily, gleefully share it with the world as much as we can. Awesome.
All right. What's next from you?
I've got another from Blaise Langlois called 20 Bucks. I'm going to get my lamp here. 20 bucks. That's all it took to bring me to that place where heat rushes behind your eyes, your sinuses recalling the time chlorine kissed them too hard, all teeth and no tongue. To that place where swallowing a stone is preferable to allowing the dam to break. I had walked past him, fondling the bill in my pocket, folding and pressing it between my thumb and forefinger, allowing it to slip against itself, reminding me that it was only plastic. I retraced my steps as though I had somewhere to be, and abashed and pink stood in front of him. Why should I be embarrassed? He is the one with no coat in the cold, and I am the one with enough sense to wear a hat. It is winter in Canada, after all. I couldn't tell you his name, only that he reminded me of my father, like someone who makes a living getting paid via commission. That thought had been keeping me up at night. But my father had taken a train east to atone. Was supplication his new diet or dogma? If I traveled toward the rising sun, would he greet me on the streets? But I couldn't travel, wouldn't travel, too afraid that my worries would be a truth lived. So instead, I gave him the green in my pocket.
Oh, wow.
There it is. Yeah. Thank you, Blaze, for the beautiful work that you sent. And that was very evocative and stirring. Very stirring
Yeah.
poem. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I actually will take this moment to give a little plug for Space and Time magazine, who Blaise Langlois has had many poems in, and we're getting ready to open submissions again in July 15th.
Ooh, nice.
Pretty sure it's July 15th. This is me remembering this. I think that's true. But
I
you
mean,
can
that
go
sounds
over
good.
you can go over to our Facebook page, and we will have it all over social media, and I'm sure I'll be talking about it more as well. But yeah, so get those poems into us because we love poems. Linda D. Addison is our poetry editor, and she's amazing, as anybody who knows Linda and Laura knows.
Right.
So get those poems in. All right, and then next I actually had to have a list today. I have a poem from Timothy P. Flynn. And this is called Embrace the Madness. And Timothy P. Flynn, I know through Horror Writers Association. He's a dark poet. And so he sent me this poem and gave me permission to read it to you today. And of course, it has madness in it. So when you had me at madness, at the word madness, I love madness.
I do too.
So this is by Timothy P. Flynn. Embrace the madness. Darkness clutches at you, waking archaic nightmares that fester within. It whispers to embrace the black plague madness that provokes violent orgasm-like spasms, constricting and stinging like a tattooed gun needle throughout your body, a response to the visceral reality of pandemic life. Itchy black thread secure the bloody sutures on your lips, sewn tight behind the mask that cuts into your tender earlobes, just enough room for a disinfected straw. But your feverish brain leaks green juice from a nose struggling for breath as frostbite tears trail down your scorched cheeks as you fight against the chills that threaten to snap the vertebrae of your brittle spine. The infection found you. The bleach-burnt, raw, ragged flesh of your hands, insane sanitizing rituals, only invited the insatiable hunger of disease. Death scratches at your lungs, raking nails reverberating through your ribcage as your stillborn thoughts wait incessantly for your panic-driven breathing to slow, to crawl, to cease forever.
Wow. And yes, visceral and very like, you're not only there, you're them. You know, you are the point of view, and that is well done.
Yeah, he's a newer poet coming up in the Horror Writers Association. I kind of think like, yeah, we're gonna be seeing some Timothy P. Flynn.
I think so.
Some more of him.
I think so. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna read from my newer one, which is Electrified Corset, the Sniveling Virus, because I also wrote one about the virus, but it's different. So let's do a compare and contrast that we don't have to say out loud. We'll just have it, okay?
Yeah.
Side by side, the sniveling virus. And so the virus flitted all over the place, infecting all and sundry in dark of night, infecting most improved drama student, infecting a girl wearing a mailbox hat after mistaking her for its mother. Its mother was grudging and disappointed. Either be adorable or a badass. Don't mess with Mr. In-Between. The virus's lower lip trembled. I do hope you go to heaven, sighed its mother. I've done everything I can here, and I've run all out of guilt and wherewithal. But mother, Stonewalled, the virus was devastated and engaged in grief-related overeating, became a fat and confident dynamo, wrought unspeakable havoc on the planet. I've committed pandemicide, it declared, smiling, squaring its shoulders, and misusing the word entirely. But it's gauche nowadays to correct grammar and syntax on the grounds of being elitist. But darn, I'm really good at that crap, though. Well, ask yourself, why would you ever go around correcting a big fat dynamo of a supervillain virus? Use wisdom. Yeah. Sniveling Virus by Amy Zoellers. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. And that's kind of the brilliant thing about poetry. We each have our own voice. We can all talk about the same thing, and we'll see it like the elephant metaphor. All the blind men touching the elephant, and they all are positive.
Wait.
Yeah, it looks
And
differently,
it's a
but
tree.
yeah,
Or a snake.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and
Awesome.
Facebook user who I'm going to say is probably Laura, fat and confident dynamo. Love it.
Yeah, it was kind of having a Dada / surrealism time, and still I think my dream songs were coming, where you lie down and like words, and now I'm older and they've ceased. I don't know. I'm trying to see if it's because of is that because of stress that's been relieved, which I'm glad about. So I don't mind. I would grieve it. The fact that I used to lie down and like words would be like waterfalls. Now it's kind of like, that's okay. I can operate in a different chapter. It's cool. But that was fun for several years.
Yeah.
Lie down and be like, what the hell just happened?
I don't know. I have to take melatonin every single night or I can't sleep. And even then,
Yeah.
sometimes, like I was up at 3 last night. I watched a thing on the Battle of Okinawa. It's like a talk. And it was so like riveting. I will not even share some of the stories, but I will sum it up by saying I could not write horror that horrible. So, oh, okay. So the Facebook user is actually Blaze. And she, yeah, so Blaze, sorry, I've been calling you Laura.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know Laura's also there somewhere, but yes, because we have a lot of viewers that don't necessarily chat. So, yeah, so this is Blaise Langlois, whose poem we just heard a few poems ago
today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So awesome. I have a couple of events to talk about that are super cool, and then another video to play that's involved with one of these events. And I'm gonna have to watch this video because as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, dang, I should share this link. I really need to share this link. So I will be putting all these links in the the YouTube version of this because we're on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. So if you want to see the links to these things that we're talking about, they will be in this. Amy will hold me to it that I will go do this.
Okay, I'll try.
But this one looks so much fun. It is, where is it? I just had it. I'm going to share my screen so you can see all the things on my screen right now. Did I accidentally click out of it? That would be ridiculous. I'm talking, I was like the postcard thing. There it is. Okay. Postcard Poetry Festival from Cascadia Poetics Lab. It is, you do have to pay $20, which I'm worth it. And this is a fundraiser they're doing, but you are going to be on a list with 31 other poets. And yeah, and anyways, you're writing an original poem for them on a postcard and mailing it out, 31 of these. And then you're getting 31 of these poems back. And you can share them on, I think you don't want to share other people's poetry necessarily, but you can share the postcard. All the rules are here, though. If you go to cascadiapoeticslab.org, you'll see this. But I signed up for it. I am super excited to do it. I will be sharing all my postcards that I get and the ones that I'm doing, and I can share my poems that I've written. Yes. But I just thought, what a very cool way to connect with poets from all over the world. It says 15 here. I signed up yesterday or the day before maybe, and it was actually 20. So
right.
It's going up a little bit.
I was reading that, and it was something like there was an early entrance fee that we have missed. I've got to get I started filling it out and I haven't finished, but yeah, I'm in. Yeah.
I mean, this looks so much fun. So that is at cascadiapoeticslab.org. The link will also be in this description. I was reading on their Facebook group. Some people are doing original art postcards and also like really getting into this. So
yeah,
my only thing is I would say make sure it, can be mailed. Like you don't want all your bits falling off in the mail, but you could probably do it like in the little envelope, like you have your prints in, and then seal it, and then everything would be.
What I've done in the past is like just for my Etsy shop is certain artworks I've done. I just had them printed at the print shop that I use, in a 4x6 size. And then I have a
Ooh.
rubber stamp that I didn't make. I ordered from somewhere else. Can't remember the name of this. 100 Proof Press. Oh my gosh, I love them. But it just says postcard. And so I can put postcard, like stamp it on there, divide it
Oh,
with a like pen mark, and then like use one side to write the poem and the other to write the address. So I'm doing print shop anyway because of your missing typewriter print. So I'm just going to go through stuff and see what can I do for postcards. It's going to be
yeah,
so
very
fun.
cool.
Oh, I'm excited.
Very cool. So yeah, so there's one thing.
Yeah.
The other thing, I've been involved with this event called, whoops, that's not it, SPOFest right now, which you can go find them on Facebook. And SPOFest it's all in Central Time, Amy. So for us Missourians, that's pretty
Good.
awesome. But you can find them on Facebook. You can find them on their site, which is oicstudios.com. And also that link will be in this chat after this show is over. SPOFest, I've gone to 2 or 3 of them now. It is a blast. It's an open mic, but they do it as a competition. And the prize is a $10 gift card for Amazon. And they have what's called, they do a reading. So they'll have a prompt, which should be on here. Oh yeah. So it's writing prompt, rough draft, and the open mic event. So you can write from the prompt. If you didn't do the prompt, you can still read your poem. And the rough draft is what I really like too. That's where you get to make up something. So they give you a prompt and you just make something up on the spot. And if nobody's like judging or going, there was some plot holes in that one. There's nobody doing that because, bully for you for being up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you do get stuck, you can say, and then the dragons ate them. And then
I'm writing that down.
Yeah, so that is super fun, and also just good practice for thinking on your feet, getting creativity going. You do get, I think, 10 seconds to think of an idea, and then there's another thing that we're doing, and I'm super proud. This is probably like my favorite title of all titles that I've ever gotten, Corpse Wrangler. Because before me, they had just started doing Exquisite Corpse. And of course, I, who adore Exquisite Corpses, which for anybody who doesn't know is a community-built poem. Everybody in a community or a certain group will contribute one line, sometimes thematically, sometimes like in their case, they're doing it in order, many ways to do it. But you come up with this community-built poem and love them because the spotlight is on a community, not one person. And the way that we all interact is brilliant. Never met an Exquisite Corpse I didn't like.
Angela is great at wrangling corpses. We used to do them at the open mics at the library, and at the end she'd read what people had contributed, and she had a way of like making it, probably twice as beautiful as me off the street.
If you don't have the meat to work with, you have nothing to stitch together. So
the meat's always been so good. I love that. I love that visual. We like spooky stuff sometimes.
I forgot that because it was on Post-it notes, wasn't it? And so while the thing was going on, I'd sit there and arrange all the Post-it notes around.
So much fun.
So SPOFest, go there, do SPOFest. I think it's at the last Tuesday of every month.
Oh, cool.
And then they have another one, it's a different event, but it's the same group of people, which you'll find all this information on their site. But the other one is off like poets reading. So it's more of we're listening to poets read and less interactive like that.
Right.
But I want to play the last Exquisite Corpse that we all did together. So that's the poem that was about SPOFest and what it is, where you can find it. And this is the Exquisite Corpse that we just did, and it turned out like chef's kiss. Love the corpse.
Exquisite Corpse number 1. SPOFest writing prompt rough draft, May 31st, 2022.
Participants.
There must be more than this. But what promises do we have? We get what we get, and we don't get upset. Look for it. It must be somewhere. We lose perspective more than we do valuable. Each comet is a loss to the sky. Each star a crying eye. A sky full of broken hearts, broken promises, fragments found beneath mossy rocks. The rocks you throw each time you curse me until my fragments weren't seen in daylight. Darkness scatters my shards, stones lodged in my throat to quell my poetic words. Liquid light my drink now, flowing, taking out all obstacles in its path, shooting out of the ends of my fingers, healing everything in its path. It is a slow march out of the desert, but a light nonetheless. The light that encouraged me to continue after a brief rest. I shook my fist at the light and told it to leave me alone. There is comfort in the darkness. I can pretend I'm home. In that mirror over there, before you walked over, I painted a portrait of you, smiling, in rose and salt topaz, like before. And Mona Lisa remains the most mysterious heart, unique in all aspects.
That was awesome.
Oh, yeah. And I actually just realized that was not the last one we did. So I think that one is not available yet. So I will play that later. But I mean, not later today. It's not there.
Right.
But yes, I loved doing the Exquisite Corpse with them. And so this last one, I actually got to put it together, and that was super fun. So that will probably be played next. This Cake and Hyperbull. I wanted to say
Yes.
Exquisite Corpse so bad. So, but yeah, so that was that. I got to shake the chills off. So yes, do go to SpoFest, check out their event and the Exquisite Corpse. I will wrangle your corpse pieces, and yeah, that's it for that.
Love it. Oh, that was great. Well, I have a funny little thing that I saw on Instagram. Probably everybody's heard of it, but I'm just going to mention it quickly. It's a funny way of like writing a pretend epitaph by letting if you have that thing on your phone where when you're typing a word, it'll suggest a word.
Oh, yeah.
And, even if you just don't start typing a word, it will suggest a word. So what people were doing was, here lies Amy. I'll do me. Here, it's your epitaph. Here lies Amy. And then you say, she was, or whatever your pronoun, she was, and then you just see what it suggests and just keep hitting the suggested words. And here's a couple I've got. Okay, here lies Amy. She was not at church yesterday, but I was a good time. So there's one. Let's see. I got a weird one today that was like, here lies Amy. She was not at all a lot of people, and she was not worried about it. And then I tried to keep doing it with like the first suggested, and it keeps doing the same thing. So I got one that was like, oh, this one. The last two are kind of funny. Here lies Amy. She didn't know. She didn't even have it, but it wasn't her. She just wanted it for her to get a little worried. It wants me to be worried. Okay, and one more thing. Here lies Amy. She was not at all a good friend of mine, but it was just so much pain. So that's fun. All you have to do is say, here lies, insert whoever's name you want to use. He, she, they were. And then just
hilarious.
start tapping those suggested words without even looking and see what happens. So that's a fun way to do a joke epitaph.
Yeah. Oh, I got to try that.
That's fun. Good thing to do anytime. It's like playing a game on your phone,
Yeah.
Do it all the time. What's next from you?
I did actually forget to say a little announcement for everybody who has submitted poetry for the Horror Writers Association Poetry Showcase. That those winners, well, that's not winners, but the selectees will be announced on the 11th of July on the HWA poetry blog, which I take over this month. And I'm doing the showcase, the editing on the showcase. So we had 250 some poems entered. We can accept 50.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the pain is real on the editing end because, you know,
Yes.
want to
Yes.
select more. And
that they weren't all quality, you know? They could be.
Yeah, there is so many.
That's
I'm
why the pain
actually
is real.
we haven't counted the top 50 yet because we're just basically everybody does a score and then we add all the scores up and then, you know, we're just going numerically. We're not trying to judge this by because poetry is too subjective and, you know, and I remember last year a poem that I was like, this is a perfect poem, best poem I've ever read. And then somebody else was like, I mean, they thought it was good, certainly, but didn't hit them quite the same, you know,
Right.
so that's why we do the number system. It's nice and kind of fair and, you know, so, but yeah, we'll be announcing that on the 11th of July. So, and then the other thing is book mail. This is a Missouri writer, Annie Lisenby, a 3-letter name. This is fiction. I'm actually, yes, I am reading this on my Kindle because you know me and paper. But I had to get this book because she's doing a book signing here at Main Street Coffee House on, I think, the 15th. Like,
Wow.
I have it on my calendar. I'll be announcing it. But yeah, so that's a cool thing.
Cool. Little old independence.
I know. We have some really good authors and stuff here, and I love, you know, sharing them.
Nice. Cool.
Then I think the showcase winners, I have. Do you have anything else? Like I have more things, but I want to make sure we're not missing anything.
No, I everything I have is extra now, and I think we are good on content. So I'm not going to worry. I'm going to sit back.
Okay, yeah, I was looking at the time, and I was like, okay, make sure we got all our things.
Yeah.
I will mention real quick to everybody before we do our giveaway, and I have one poem that I promised I would read.
Yeah.
The next show, talk about being organized, pat myself on the back because I'm not usually so organized. The next show for August of Cake and Hyperbull is up. So if you go to the channel on YouTube, my channel on YouTube, there it is. This is where we are now. Obviously, I haven't refreshed this.
Future.
There's the August one. Look at that. Change the graphic even. I put the date down there. So if you want to go over there, you can actually click notify me and you will not miss the next show. It will let you know. YouTube will, because why not just automate all our organization? And then, yeah, and then while you're there, I've been seeing like I'm supposed to be doing this. While you're there, you should subscribe and like. I don't know why, but you know, let's do that. I guess
that's what they say.
Yeah. I don't know why we do that, but you know, sure.
Sure.
Because it's not like monetized or anything, but okay. But I did get another subscriber, and I was like, oh, a subscriber, a poetry lover is what I always think.
That's the truth. It's always nice that it resonates, you know, because that's what we dig. We want to meet the others who like it too.
Yep. So that is there. Oh, and if you go over to these links are in the description right now. Instagram Live, Poetry Live on Instagram over at Hypness and Outrage, which I'm putting in the chat right now. That will be July 17th on Instagram. Over on Amy's channel, Amy's Instagram channel that just went into chat, that link if you want to find that. And we will be back. Oh, I just said that about August 6th. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. We'll be back. And there's the thing. You saw it right there.
That's right. It is there. It's going to happen.
It feels weird to be ahead of the game. I don't know what's going on here.
Sort of Star Trek with a temporal anomaly. It's almost like we've already done it. You know, it's great. But
I must be dying because I've got it together.
Really? What are your symptoms? Oh no. Well, I was so organized. Oh dear.
Then I just died.
Oh no. Well, anyway, we'll make it happen. This great community will step in.
I will haunt you with more poetry.
Ooh, I love that. Oh my. Now I'm gonna think about that and write things about it.
And speaking of poetry, I will read this poem. I shared this. You know, I've kind of been off social medias a little bit because I'm trying to write a novel, and that is going great. But through all of the kind of stuff that's been going on social media and stuff, it's not like I'm not paying attention to everything. I got stuck where I just couldn't work on the novel anymore because there's so much anger and, and so I had to write a poem and then I could go back to the novel. So this is that poem, and I shared it. And thank you for everybody who has shared it. It resonated with like different people. And so I said I was going to read it here on Cake and Hyperbull this Saturday, which is now. So enough is enough. Enough is enough. I will not apologize for being myself. Oh, I actually have it over here, so I don't have to stare over there. Speaking of, then I ruined all the organization that I just had.
No. Anyway, behind the curtain, here we are.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Enough is enough. I will not apologize for being myself. And you, looking at me, looking at you, looking away, both of us nervous. They say our eyes expose our souls, our windows to our dreams, ugly, awkward things falling from ashen skies with tattered wings. We're told the things we love are wrong. There is no music in our song, not enough cover up to hide our scars, and happiness is always just a tomorrow away, and we're never good enough for today. Enough is enough. I will not apologize for who you are now, because you are perfect. Really, not in the microplastic way where we're told to think outside of the box, but don't get out of line. And art is an investment, an NFT with an NDA, not a JOY. Call the FDA to get an inoculation against free thinking speech mind, because we all know there's no free lunch unless we vote for the right masters. Disasters of democracy, whether red or blue, none care about you, because we're just GDP and bottom lines, being kept in lines when they draw the lines between us and just us, and divide us from justice by sorting us with color, texture, and size. Enough is enough. Who is my brother's keeper? Who is my sister? Oh, sorry, I should do this. You are. This isn't a black thing or a white thing or a yellow, red, pink, or rainbow thing. This is a control thing. You can swallow the red or the blue, but whatever way you swing it remains the same thing. A matrix of lies, a web of control designed to keep us off balance. They shake drama like keys, and we say thank you and please from down on our knees, demanding rights but accepting shackles. They keep our ruby slippers hidden away with the Holy Grail, last week's mail, and Elvis. Enough is enough. They can keep the payment plan. Love isn't a debt. This is an Eight of Swords moment. We stand blindfolded and mute, degraded and berated, never good enough for company unless we buy more good china. Free miracles for infinity installments. They say to be sheep and trust and let them shepherd. No snake oil sold here. Hush and swallow. Don't spit. Keep it down. Stop trying. Keep buying. Enough is enough. But only when we decide enough is enough. We don't become enlightened by staring into the sun, but by learning to see in the dark. And that's the end.
That's awesome. That is so what people need to hear. It's like everything has been so divisive for, it seems like, so long.
Yeah.
And it's just like, there's this Herman Melville sort of quote I'm going to paraphrase, like from my, I use it in the introduction of my podcast. It's just like, what? The universal thump is coming around to all of us. Let's just rub each other's shoulders, until it gets here. And it's like, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, humanity, connection, all of us, as Charles Dickens said, on this, sprint toward the grave. I forget what phrase he used. I always forget exactly how he said it, but it's like we're fellow travelers to the grave. That's us, and so it's like that's waiting for all of us. And just, so much division and hatred and idea that, like, if I vote for this person, they're looking out for me. They're not.
No, they don't care about
not
us.
like us. They've got a lot of money if they can afford all of that publicity. And most of us probably here in this, seen today are not that rich, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know,
There was
just
actually something I
name
shared on
one
my
thing.
Facebook yesterday, which I thought was interesting. It was a quote from like, it's on my Twitter. I'm sorry, it's on my Twitter, but like ages ago, like thousands of years ago, it was a quote from a Chinese military leader who said, like something like, we're gonna. There's actually a couple of things I've watched on that, but basically they formed a caste of people that was like a derogatory caste on purpose to be able to have a scapegoat to point at to keep the people under control. So I'm like, it's not a new thing to keep us divided, because together we're strong. In love, we're strong, But yeah, just keep throwing all these things in here and keep us arguing so that we can never look around and realize shit is not smelling too sweet right now.
Right, exactly. What's really going on? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
So yeah, that was my plea to say,
Nice.
who cares who's right and who's wrong? Let's just get
Right.
together.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Beautiful. And that is something I will share too if it doesn't bother you in some way or form.
Absolutely. Everybody,
Yeah, 'cause-
please feel free to share, riff off of it and send us that poem. Write your own version of that and send it to us, and we'll read it next. Caking Hyperbull. I don't know why I want to call it all these other names now.
Next
thing,
hot
right
poet
here.
show.
Yeah, the hot poet show. But yes, thank you for
Good.
listening.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. Yeah,
Good
no,
stuff.
hopefully, I
Needed.
mean, I'm kind of like, I don't know, just stop the fighting basically sums it up for me.
Agreed.
Where do you stand politically, Angela? I just, everybody calm down. That's where I stand.
I'm rubbing everybody's shoulders until the universal thump, the next one comes, because there's been a lot of those lately.
Yeah, when I know everything, I'll make my decision on what we should all do, but I'm not there yet.
I think once you know everything, you'll be above that. You'll be like, oh, everybody just stop. Like you just said, calm down.
Yeah.
Calm.
All right. Well, I think if you have nothing else, we can ride this out on a Pete Kelly video or poem called Parasitic Love. I think his dulcet tones are the perfect way to end this show.
To calm us down.
Yeah. We need some soothing now from some Parasitic Love, which
we do.
Don't know if that sounds great. I know the poem will be great, but
it works.
But yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. We hope to see you again. Oh, and the contest. Wait a second. Let's find out who gets this praise. So sorry, hold on, Pete. Just hold your breath right there. Let's do the giveaway real quick for this. So last chance, if you want to be in this giveaway, enter hashtag 1 year exclamation point in the chat, and then we will give this away. I mean, let's do a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm going to select the winner, which I love. Actually, StreamYard is going to select the winner, and I will mail this to anywhere in the world with other goodies. I love how they do this.
That's so fun. So fun to watch it do its thing.
Who will win? I'm going to do another giveaway next month. This is fun. Lee Andrew Norman. Congratulations, Lee. You will be having this beautiful print from Amy Zoeller's with other, I was going to say objects, but probably books and art in here as well.
We got that.
This will be mailed to you. So, and I actually know you personally, so I'm going to get with you. I probably have your address, but I'm going to make sure I have your address because I know you've moved at some point. So yeah. So yeah, congratulations, Lee. And then, hey, come back next month because we will do another giveaway of something. I'll find it. I'll figure it out. Because I'm always misordering something, ordering the same print or the same book of something.
And Letters to a Young Poet by Rilke. I always buy it when I see it because I'm like, I might want to give it to somebody. And it's so small. It's usually like, if I'm at a used bookstore, it's usually like $2 or $4. I'm like, I can get that. And so I can throw in one of those at some point too. So, yeah.
And speaking of, one last thing. Remember the Little Free Library?
Yes.
that I was going to do, I ordered it. It is going to be here, well, probably around the 10th somewhere. So yeah, I'll be sharing photos and we can put books in it. We're going to have
Yes.
Laura, who is probably in chat here somewhere or in the sound of my voice, is flying up here, and we're going to be doing a grand opening and putting a bunch of her books in there as well.
Cool.
And it's specifically going to be dedicated for banned books. So I'm going to be ordering a lot of those and trying to make sure I keep it stocked with books that have been banned in the past or currently banned. But
Right.
all books will be welcome because
Yes.
you know, it's a very
Exactly.
inclusionary book thing.
We're not going to ban any non-banned
Yeah,
books.
yeah,
but
we're
definitely banned books are the focal point. In a way.
Yeah. Oh, and
cool.
happy 1 year. That's right. Yep. And that's why we had this
Yay!
giveaway, because it was
Yes.
celebrating 1 year. Because I was
The whole
organized
time.
and planned that.
That's
Yeah.
right. You ordered 2 on purpose, and I didn't
Ex-
notice on purpose. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so now
No.
I think we have all the business done. I'll get with you, Lee, to get your address to send all this off. And yeah, let's go out on some Parasitic Love
Yes.
by Pete Kelly.
Parasitic love. The cacophonous sound, an epileptic light show, disturbs not the thoughts of one deep in mind. All about creatures celebrate mutual hedonism, cavorting amidst a horror to which they are blind. A figure interrupts this sovereign's mindful solitude, lord of a stark, emotionless realm that exists within. Her body is a silhouette, dancing, suggestive and rude, awakening again a desire to furnish my empty dominion. A prophecy of failure from my distant humanity, though still I follow her to her last willful act. We dance, feeling with our bodies writhing together. Aroused creatures within begin to react. An invitation is replied with a solemn gesture. A ride home consists of her nervous chatter. Her life, so trivial, visions of death on a floor. In another life we could be lovers, though now I hunger. We enter for a first and last time for one to leave, resuming our rhythmic writhing while disrobing. She pushes away to dance and seduce. I am Adam to her Eve. Her body, her smell, her groans, my senses all absorbing. Her eyes close as my skin ripples as a disturbed pool. Veins increasingly active, ever excited to feed. Pain as skin is stretched from within my hole. Conscience aches from warnings I did not heed. My limbs outstretched as pulled by unseen bondage. Finally, synchronous eruptions bring a sweet relief. I need not see as before I have witnessed this image. Tearful memory from blind eyes show a human grief. Blind tendrils taste the air, sensing prey is near. A stifled scream, a knowing dull thud to the floor. Her mind chose not to comprehend, but to close in fear. From within a solace comes regret that will endure. Serpents gently tap as they glide over her limp form. They pause, then as one movement plunge beneath skin. Her eyes open, she screams till the coming dawn. Pulsating veins feed a struggling heart within. Feeding brings exquisite yet tainted pleasure, shown by a confused smile upon my lips. I long to feel a satisfaction so pure, though I know this need will never loosen its grip. My sight returns as do my tendril hoard. Exhausted, I fall to my knees as they return inside. I cry as a child requiring a mother's comfort. As I belong to no one, I merely flee and hide. So for each day passing, for love I care less, retreating further within my familiar domain, finding the comfort sought in the darkness. I have removed the eyes to see a caring hand.